Kansas, 1856. On paper, it's just a territory waiting to become a state. But in reality, Kansas is a battlefield. The question tearing it apart is simple. Will slavery be allowed here or not? And people don't wait for Congress to decide. Pro-slavery settlers pour in from Missouri. Anti-slavery settlers rush from the north. Each side brings rifles, not ballots. Towns are raided. Homes are burned. Men are dragged from their beds and executed. This wave of violence will earn a name that terrifies the nation, Bleeding Kansas. And in the middle of this chaos stands a man who believes compromise is evil. His name is John Brown. Brown doesn't see this as politics. He sees it as a holy war. To him, slavery isn't something to debate. It's something to destroy completely. And soon, the town of Osawatomie will become the place where that belief is tested by fire. Kansas was bleeding, and Osawatomie was next. John Brown didn't come to Kansas to negotiate. By the summer of 1856, John Brown is already infamous. Some call him a hero, others call him a madman. He travels with weapons, not speeches. And when pro-slavery forces begin threatening Osawatomie, Brown knows what's coming. He could run, most people do. Instead, he stays. Brown gathers fewer than 40 men, settlers, farmers, and even his own sons. They are not trained soldiers. They are not prepared for what's coming. But Brown believes something more powerful than numbers is on his side: conviction. He positions his men near the Marais des Cygnes River, using trees and terrain for cover. There are no grand speeches, no flags waving, just men waiting, knowing they are about to face an enemy several times their size. And then the word arrives. Hundreds of pro-slavery fighters are marching toward Osawatomie. They're armed, they're angry, and they intend to make an example of this town. Brown's men were outnumbered, and escape was no longer an option. The battle began before the town even knew it. On August 30th, 1856, the pro-slavery force advances. They don't expect real resistance. They're wrong. John Brown's men open fire from the trees, catching the attackers off guard. For a moment, just a moment, it works. Gun smoke fills the air. Shots echo through the riverbanks. Men fall on both sides. But the numbers are overwhelming. The attackers regroup. They flank Brown's position. The fight turns desperate. Brown watches his men die, including one of his sons, and he makes the hardest decision of his life: retreat. Not because he's defeated, but because staying means everyone dies. As Brown and the survivors pull back, the attackers surge into Osawatomie. What happens next is not a battle, it's punishment. Homes are looted, buildings are torched. The town is set on fire piece by piece. Osawatomie is erased from the map in a single afternoon. But the flames didn't destroy John Brown, they transformed him. Osawatomie was meant to be a warning. The message was clear: this is what happens when you resist slavery. But instead of silencing the movement, the destruction does the opposite. Newspapers spread the story across America. John Brown's name becomes known far beyond Kansas. To the south, he is a terrorist. To many in the north, he is proof that slavery will never end peacefully. Brown himself is changed. Osawatomie convinces him that small battles aren't enough, that slavery must be struck at its heart. 3 years later, he will attempt exactly that, launching a raid at Harper's Ferry Raid. That raid will fail, Brown will be captured, and he will be executed. But by then, it's too late. The nation is already divided beyond repair. Osawatomie wasn't a victory. It wasn't even a successful defense. It was a signal flare. The Civil War hadn't started yet, but America was already at war with itself. History doesn't start with war. It starts with warning signs. Osawatomie wasn't just a battle, it was a signal. Long before full-scale war, people stopped seeing neighbors and started seeing threats. Fear replaced conversation, conviction replaced listening, and violence became easier than restraint. That's the real lesson of Osawatomie. Big disasters don't appear overnight. They grow from small clashes that get ignored, minimized, or justified. Once violence feels normal, it stops feeling wrong. History shows this pattern again and again, not because people are evil, but because they believe conflict is the only option left. Osawatomie reminds us that the most important moments aren't the explosions. They're the moments before anyone lights the match. By the time history is loud, it's usually too late.